Well, what I ended up really doing was I wrote it initially as a screenplay, and I wrote the music along with it. And so I have a, basically this is all of the songs that were on
Oh,
that I wrote, because I wrote the music while I was writing the story, because I wanted to have the songs push the plot along, sort of.
have all those songs been released?
No, none of them. And as a
Oh,
matter of
so
fact,
okay,
"Minstrel and the Princess" is sort of the end song to the story,
okay,
but and it's kind of like the wrap up of the whole thing. I never released "Minstrel and the Princess" until just recently
yeah,
because I'm promoting the book
sure,
now. But what happened was I went into the studio, I tracked all these songs, and they're very like some of them are standalone songs, but some of them are kind of pushing the plot along, so they have a very uh they don't feel like a single, like
yeah,
the Minstrel and the Princess feels like that. Um but and I was trying to give people a sort of an audio element to what it would sound like along with the screenplay. I finished it, and I was pitching it all over LA to every producer that I knew. And everybody, I kept getting a lot of closed doors because people were like, "Look, this story is really beautiful, but this is $100 million movie. Like, you're talking about set design for the 15th century, old Windsor
right,
castle,
right,
the wardrobe, like everything would be a really expensive film to make." So then I started exploring the idea of animating it, and then I talked to a couple people. I kind of uh, some things happened. I won't get into it because it was some of it was kind of sad. A friend of mine who was helping me with it ended up passing away,
oh,
and
sorry,
so I ended up putting it on a shelf, and it actually sat right here in my studio, like the screenplay, and then one day I was in London about 2 years ago, and a friend of mine said, "Hey, remember when you came over here and you were staying in Windsor and you were writing that story? Whatever happened with that?" And I said, I it ended up being such an expensive movie to make that I couldn't find anybody that's I'm not friends with, like the head of
yeah,
you
yeah,
know
yeah,
of any major studio. I know a lot of directors and filmmakers and producers, but mostly independent filmmakers. So he said, well, you should have just written it as a book. And I was like, you know, I'm sitting on this story and it's such a beautiful story. Why wouldn't I kind of thought I should have done that initially and then try to get the book option. So I had all those descriptions and those vivid ideas in my mind because I've lived with this story so long, and I was there in Windsor and I took all the pictures and all that. So I was able to sit down with the story and sort of start from scratch and use it as a template. The beginning, the middle, the end, all the stuff in between was already there. The story was there. It was more about sitting down and getting to just like put people in the room and feel the emotion of the moments that are happening.